Hello everyone, this is Charles Folkart. Welcome. This is a follow-up to my video Economic Collapse underway. Learn to grow food using the Kratky method. I planted some leafy green vegetables hydroponically on February the 22nd. I took the following photos on March 23rd, 31 days later. Look at that baby. That thing is just growing awesome. Here's another one picture of the back. These leaves here are almost big enough for me to pick and include in a salad. Here's some other, this is I think kale. This is a spinach plant, 1 month old now, mind you. And they're all growing indoors under lights. This is a kale. Again, only a month old. Here's some other plants I have going. This is the rock wool growth medium. I'm going to give that a try. I think these are cucumbers. I'm going to try to grow lemon cucumbers indoors. And here's some other plants I have growing. This is, I can't remember what they all are, but in the background there's my baby Roma tomatoes and baby cherry tomatoes. I got a lot more than I need, so I'm going to give away to a couple of my friends. You know, I found these seeds. Look at the price of these seeds. 50 cents, folks. There's one down. These are down here only 20 cents a pack. And there's got to be at least 20 seeds in there. So if there's 20 seeds in this pack and you pay 20 cents, you're paying a penny. What is that? You're paying 1 penny a piece, right? Come on, that's awesome buy in these times, huh? Even if you buy a package of seeds for say $1.49, there are packages of lettuce seeds that must contain 100 seeds or more. That's 1 cent per seed. From an economic viewpoint, seeds give you an awesome return on investment, or ROI. From a seed that you purchase for 1 cent, you can grow lettuce that will cost you around $2 or more in the off-season and $1 in season. Either way, you save. Yes, indoor hydroponics involves an initial outlay, but that initial investment can be kept to a minimum. I bought the 4-foot fluorescent lights at the local recycle building material outlet for about $10, I believe, and that included the bulbs. I also found some 1-inch PVC pipe there for $2, enough to make one light stand. I bought the elbows, tees, and cross tees at the local hardware store, and all you got to do is measure twice, cut once, and push everything together hand tight. No cement needed. At a table, a timer, a container to hold your plants, and water. Use some plant food, seeds, and you're an indoor hobby farmer. Why is growing your own food important? The reason growing your own food is important is because it's just another way you remove third-party risk. When you grow your own food, you remove third-party risk just that much more. Okay, you want to reduce third-party risk as much as possible, especially in these times. As the society breaks down, there's going to be a lot of interruptions into our normal way of living. When the money collapses, and it will collapse, folks, there's a guaranteed. All right, just if you don't think that's going to happen in America, you're wrong. It's going to happen. So at that point, the money's going to be worthless, and so there's going to be a period of time, it may be a long period of time from the way things are going, that you will not be able to use your money to buy things in the market, because there may not be things in the market for you to buy. It's already happening in other parts of the company, in other parts of the world, in other countries. Venezuela comes to mind. So what will you do when you can't buy your lettuce or kale or spinach at the local market? Just like they can't now in Venezuela. You can't eliminate third-party risk altogether, but you want to reduce it as much as possible, especially during societal breakdown, which is where I think the U.S. is headed. Leafy greens such as lettuce, and there are several varieties that can be grown hydroponically indoors with no pumps. You can also grow spinach, kale, and other leafy greens hydroponically, which are full of nutrition and can be grown easily indoors and out. You know, I'm growing some of the plants that I'm growing. I intend to take outside once the weather here will allow me to bring the plants outside. Right now it's too cold. It's spring, but it's too cold here. But I've got things already begun in the house that I can transfer outside. Store-bought vegetables are for the most part devoid of nutrition. We're all eating fake food. It looks like a tomato, kind of smells like a tomato, but doesn't taste like a tomato. Folks, the tomatoes that I used to eat when I was a young kid, you could tell that was a tomato. Today we eat a tomato and it doesn't taste like it. It tastes like cardboard. It just doesn't have any taste. When you grow your own food, you can grow a tomato that actually tastes good. Makes my mouth water just thinking about it. I think I forgot to mention what third-party risk is. Third-party risk is when there is a person between you and an asset that you need. Something that you need to get done, or something that you want, or something you need, no matter what it is. If there's someone between you and that asset that you're relying on someone else to supply that need, you have third-party risk. For example, if you heat your home with natural gas or propane or electric, you have third-party risk. If you know how to cut your own wood and are able to cut your own wood and you have a wood stove or some way to heat your house with wood and you can get the wood, the fuel that you need, you don't have third-party risk. So you want to eliminate, in the times that are coming, I believe you want to eliminate your third-party risk as much as possible. And the other point I want to make is about eating fake food. Let's not forget about all the crap they put in there. Chemtrails are falling down on the food. There's what they put in the water. What they no longer have in the soil. They're using GMO crops. It just goes on and on and on. The health reasons and the economic reasons for you to grow your own food are just very, very high on the chart, folks. This is something you need to get back to. We all need to get back to. What I am suggesting is that you become proficient at growing your own food indoors hydroponically on a small scale to start. Gather the materials that you will need tomorrow, today. Don't put it off. While materials are still readily available. It took me a little bit of time, even in the good economic conditions we have now, relatively speaking, to what's coming. I still had to go from place to place to get everything I needed. Fortunately, they had what I needed there. But there's coming a day that you're not going to be able to get everything very quickly and very easily and very cheaply like you can now. Just this simple step of gathering the materials now, even if you don't plan on having a garden indoors this year, you're going to do this next year. Get the materials you need, get an understanding of the concept and what you're going to need, and get those materials now. Just this simple step of planning ahead, involving very little investment on your part, will put you in the 1% that counts. Get some experience now while conditions are still conducive, while conditions are still favorable, when the things you need are still easy and less expensive to locate and purchase. Start with one light set, start a few different kinds of plants, have the nutrients you need on hand. Climb the learning curve now so you won't have to later. And later may be when conditions are worse and mistakes more costly. You want to make your mistakes now. Not only will you gain invaluable experience growing food indoors, you will learn firsthand what supplies will be needed when others wake up to the importance of growing their own food. You can then stock up on those supplies and have them later for your own use or to barter with for those things you need. Seeds, seeds, and more seeds. Saturday, I attended a first annual seed fair here in Flathead Valley, Montana, held at the local community college. I was pleasantly surprised to see how many people attended the event. I was also very glad to see so many young people interested in growing their own food. I think hydroponic methods, and there are several different kinds, to grow food, both indoors and out, will be a growth industry here in the United States and also in other parts of the world in the future. One of the few hobbies you can enjoy while also saving money and eating healthy foods at the same time is hydroponics. It won't be much longer, and I'll be able to pick my green salad fixings right in the next room. I'm having a great time setting up my hydroponic system. I'm learning new things every day, and it's a lot of fun, I'm telling you. I'm also reminded of how amazing a seed is. You start with a little seed you can hardly see, so small it takes a pair of tweezers to handle. You put the seed in the proper growth medium, and in this case, I use those little rock wool medium, or I think they're called Jiffy. You can buy them at the local plant stores, and you just put your seed in there, add water, put some nutrients in the water. You need a light, and once you get that all done, you sit back and watch it grow big enough for you to eat. All right inside your house. Awesome? Absolutely. You can even let some of your plants go to seed. That way you get seeds from that plant, and from that one seed you started with, you now have dozens, if not hundreds of other seeds from which to start the process all over again. And you can share your seeds with other people, and you won't have to buy seeds. So as the years go on, that's one less expense that you have, and it makes your return on your investment in hydroponics all that much more profitable. And hydroponics as a hobby is great because I think we've gotten away from growing our own food because we're so busy working, and the IRS takes all of our profit and they blow it and spend it and waste it everywhere else in the world except here in the United States. So because we've gotten away from growing our own food for all the different reasons. I remember my grandfathers both had large gardens in their backyard. My grandfathers lived right across the street from each other, and I could go from one grandfather's house and grandmother's house to the other grandmother's house just by going across the street. And both of my grandfathers had an extra large yard, a large acreage, and they all grew their own food. And my one grandfather was a greengrocer, and so he knew all about produce. And he had some of the best tasting food I've ever had. I still remember today him handing me this plum. It was huge. When he moved to California, and I lived there with my grandparents for a while, he had these pomegranates that he grew that were just huge, and we'd break open those pomegranates, and as you all know, a pomegranate is all seeds. I think we've gotten away from growing our own food, and because of that, we've forgotten how great our Creator is. It takes this little seed, it sprouts, it plants roots, it grows a stem and then branches and leaves, and it produces food. It's just awesome to think about it. All right? And Scripture talks about seeds all the time. A sower went out to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell into good soil, and when it grew, it produced 100-fold. Man, it doesn't take an economics major to understand that 100-fold return on your initial investment, that's a good return on your investment, folks. Thank you for watching. Please like if you do, subscribe and share. Also, you might want to visit my site, RockyMountainRocketStoves.com, to purchase your own Rocky rocket stove or rocket mass heater. To find out how the American family legal system really works, consider reading my book, Deadbeat Dad. Learn how the legal system can destroy your family if you let it. Again, I want to thank you for watching. See ya.